Hello everyone, it's Lil Hill, and today we are going over what is Emerald Rogue. So today I'm going to have some game footage in the background, and then I'm going to talk about the game, narrating over it. So Emerald Rogue is created by PokeAbby and is a roguelike game for Pokemon, kind of like the game Hades, where you're making dungeon runs where you catch Pokemon. You can only have 6 throughout your run, but you can keep catching Pokemons that you find on routes. Your goal is to defeat all 8 gym leaders, Elite Four, and then the champion. However, the bosses are created in a way that the order you challenge them is randomized, the Pokemon you face are randomized, and they are designed to counter your team, meaning no run will ever be the same, making the game very interesting. When you lose the run, however, you also gain a permanent reward in money that you can spend in the hub area. The hub area is what's going on right now. And from that area you can buy items that can continue further through the game. Now, this first building that you can check out actually has a lot of configurations for the game, how you want to play it. XP share on, over leveling on or off, because there is level caps in this game. Then you can see from this window, I don't talk to it, but that window in the top of the room will actually give you access to different generations of Pokemon. So Gen 8, the base game only goes up to Gen 3, but if you go in there, talk to the guy, you can change what generations of Pokemon show up. And also you can get the Megstones and Zcrystals, which originally is for the post game after you beat the game, like beating the champion for the first time. So also, if you are interested in just how to download, you can check the timestamps below. I also have I have a short clip at the end of like how to download the game also. And also after you watch this video, I am gonna have a video of my first run of Gen 3 posted at the same time as this. So make sure to check that out and leave a like on that video as well. So as the game continues, we are going to go into the Professor Oak's lab and choose a starter as normal. Your starter is going to stay at its level, so each time you start a run, your starter starts back at the same level that it began. It won't like stay evolved. But these starters are not necessarily better than other wild Pokemon you catch in the grass, but they are randomized, and you can also get better starters later on once you unlock the Safari building and the hub area. But I believe that takes a while. I think you have to defeat the champion first. I'm not entirely sure. But just continue doing runs and you'll unlock the building. The professor there was also talking about how this game works. Each adventure will be different because you'll always be going on different routes, catching different Pokemon, and getting new items. So now this is the room where you can start your first run. I'm also showing off Scott, showing away this Questlog. The Questlog is essentially the way that you earn permanent money, so there's a lot of quests in there that when you do complete them after your first run, you can go and talk to them. You'll gain permanent money or rare candies. And rare candies are actually really, really strong because it's better on your starter because their starter is kind of permanent. But you can rare candy your starter outside of a run, and he'll have those permanent levels, which go above the level cap. So if I give my starter 1 rare candy before the round starts, he'll always have that 1 extra level for each stage of the game. So now that we're going into the first part of the game, you can obviously see that there are several different routes. We'll have different encounters and different difficulties. At the top there, the strong routes have tougher trainers, but may have stronger Pokemon to catch. My cat is in the way, sorry. And also can have better items, while calm routes tend to have not as good items in Pokemon. Then there's also a description for the route, as you saw. So this one was energetic routes, so that means that I'll most likely see an electric Pokemon. There's a whole bunch of different descriptions of what you can find. Then you can see that the routes has item that we picked up. Right now I'm like running around trying to see what Pokemon we have. But most of the time you'll find items all throughout the routes, and the routes are all different. Then we finally find a Natu that we do want to add to our team, so we do start with some Pokeballs, so we go ahead and catch that. I didn't catch the Abra before because Abra's kind of bad, and then I named this Natu a terrible name because I'm horrible with names. So also from these routes, you'll see that the routes that were strong was the boulder, and the calm is the tree. And then I believe is like the rock smash thing is the medium level. And now also here's going to be a trainer. This kind of shows you sometimes like early on, even though this is a strong route, you're not going to be able to tell that the trainers are strong. So for this first guy, he does have level 7s. And also for him, you can see after this battle, The way that experience works in this game is like your Pokemon essentially gains like a whole bunch of experience, especially if you have XP share on. It's essentially that way so you can reach the level cap faster. And for this a specific portion, it's 15. So you'll like instantly gain XP even if you battle trainers or Pokemon. And it essentially jumps you up so you're ready for the eventual gym leader. Also, you can see there when I click to open the menu on the left side, it will show you what Pokemon are available in the route. So for this route, it only has 2 Pokemon, so it only has Abra and Natu. And then we finally first our actual tough trainer, because this is a tough route. We actually do lose our Ekans in this fight, which is huge because after we check our menu, our Ekans is like completely gone. So in this game, if your Pokemon are holding items or they have anything and they do die, they're like completely erased off the map, like you don't even see them anymore. I guess it's like some release function, I don't know. Also, if you are catching a Pokemon and you have a Pokemon that dies in order to catch that Pokemon, obviously you're going to want to release that dead Pokemon just for the future. Because you can only have 6 Pokemon in this game, you are going to want to swap them out, and I highly recommend that you catch a lot of different Pokemon in the beginning. But yeah, you can only have 6, so meaning you'll have to release one as you go on. So right now I'm like, oh shit, I lost my Ekans, so I need to catch this Abra, which turns out to be just bad, but yeah, we are going to catch an Abra, and then we'll go on to the next route, I believe. Another thing about this game is you have to be careful about Pokeballs. Early on, you can find Pokeballs on the route. In terms of catching stuff, you can buy them later also with your money. But early on, Pokeballs are like really easy to find. But later on, as you get further and further in the game, Pokeballs are really hard to find. So now we just reached an average swarming route. So that was the symbol for the average. Then we click the menu, we can see that there's 4 different Pokemon that we can find on this route, and swarming obviously means bug. I'm not sure why the energetic one didn't give me any electric types. I thought it would be... There's a CPU that can talk to that tells you all the descriptions, but the energetic one I thought would be electric, but it is actually, I guess, psychic? I don't know. That's like the only thing that kind of confuses me about this game is the like the way the routes are named. It always seems confusing. Like even here we found like a Cleffa, even though there's swarming. But we do catch a Volbeat, and as I said before, highly recommend catching a whole bunch of, at least get a team of 6, because I think after a team of 6 you're guaranteed to at least beat the gym leader, which is goated. You do not want to, even though you want to be stingy, like with your Pokeballs, early on you at least want a team of 6. Also, you can see that my Cleffa is a fairy type. So this game did add fairy typing, has a lot of the items from the new game. And right now I'm in the Gen 3 state of the game. As I talked to previously at the beginning of the video, if you talk to that button, you can go up to Gen 8 and unlock the Megastone and the Zcrystal. But right now I'm playing only the base Gen 3 game. But even though it's Gen 3, since I'm on the expanded version, fairy type is added, physical special split is in here, but there is I think I talk about it later when doing the download. You can choose the expanded version or the other version. When you download it, you'll get both, and the expanded version has like all the major updates, unless you want to play Emerald at its base game with like the weird no physical special split. But yeah, just saying that. Now, we're going to continue through this route. We're just getting a whole bunch of items. Sometimes the items are good, sometimes they're bad. Also, you can see in this specific part that there is an item over the water there. That is because in some of these routes, you do need HMs to go to the routes, so you can actually explore all of them for their items. After the first gym leader you beat, you get cut, and as you continuously beat different gym leaders, you will get different HMs. And that will help you get more items. So now we're about to talk to a person on the route instead of like actually going to a route to catch Pokemon. And this is a Mart rest stop. This is where you can buy healing items, TMs. Here I buy Giga Drain, even though I'm pretty sure I never use it. You can also buy Pokeballs here. And sometimes there will be a guy that allows you to trade a Pokemon away, and it's kind of like a wonder trade. It's pretty cool. but sometimes he gives you really bad Pokemon. And then that guy right there is just the name raider, if you ever need to nickname your guys. And then finally, we're about to come up on the first gym leader. When you go into the gym leader fight, you have a person on the left that you can talk to. You want to talk to this person if you're below the level cap. They have a Chansey, so you can fight them and get all your Pokemon up to the level cap. Then this healer on the right says that you get 1 free heal, and then every time after that is going to cost money. I highly recommend saving that, because eventually the healing is going to cost a whole bunch. Then on the left side here, we have a statue that basically, if you pay money, will give you a hint on what typing the gym leader is going to start off with. So I obviously pay the money, find out that it's rock, and we are obviously going up against Roxanne. And now you can see that she doesn't have her standard team. Larvitar, Shuckle, and I believe Kabuto, and I think Sudowoodo, right? But I completely destroy this thing. Oh, it doesn't have Sudowoodo. But I completely destroy this thing, and after we beat her, we do get HM cut, and we're basically continuing on. Like, this is just repeat, you know, we do routes, we face different trainers, there's different peoples on the route. Also, this is a really funny video, I'll talk about it later. But another thing on the routes that you can find is strong Pokemon, so you'll sometimes find these grass marks, or a statue like that will be a legendary Pokemon. So this time we chose the strong one, and it came out as Slugma. I have no idea why that this Pokemon is considered strong. It is only up to Gen 3, so maybe like Slugma is like pretty strong. I mean, Will-O-Wisp is a good move to have. I'm not entirely sure why this thing is strong. But we do fail to catch it because it somehow has Memento. So that was terrible for us. But after we beat that gym leader, we are now at a new level cap, meaning that we can go beyond 15, and we are at 25 because the level caps jump by 10 every time. And after we beat this, we obviously blah blah blah. After we beat this, we're on to another route. You always want to make sure to explore all parts of the route for items and such. And this specific route is important because this is one of those routes where you like really needed cut before you got on it. And also a lot of the times, like the strong and average routes will have more TM usages to get all the items. Also, as you continue on the game, you will be getting way less items, and it's gonna get a lot harder. So right now I'm just catching whatever I can to fill up my team. At the end of this video, I'm just gonna show an example of what it's like to wipe. But at this moment, we're just going through this route, catching Pokemon. Also, you can find really good Pokemon like Beldum, or at least you think that they're really good Pokemon, but in fact, Beldum being a pseudo, since there's like a level cap, you're not going to get Metagross until like level 45 or 55, so that's like at least gym 3 or 4, so you want to be careful of like what you want to grab now, and is it really worth saving to the very end? Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Like for example, if you start off with a Magikarp, that thing is going to be terrible until it's a Gyarados. So like early on, do not take Magikarp. And sometimes the pseudo legendaries, like you do not want to take those things early until you can evolve them. Also, something important to note is that a lot of the friendship evolutions that would normally cause you need like certain number of happiness have all changed to just become level 20 level up evolutions. So yeah, that's kind of like a very nice quality of life changes that this game has made. And was Moonlight always a fairy type move? I never knew that. But just like another thing that is a very good quality of life change that this game does. And our Beldum does evolve, get a Metang, however you say it. And then I do catch a Sneasel, and I believe after this I cut out to the route and we go on to the next part because we don't need to see more of just me going on the routes. But let's see. I thought I was making a transition here, but if not. So there are different people that you can also find like at the option menu of like getting the rock like the tough encounters, blah blah blah. As you can see here, you have the game show guy, then you have a full rest stop, which is essentially a free heal. You can also buy items there, or not items, medicinal items there. Then the final guy is the battle prep, where you can just buy items. So then I choose the game show guy, and this is actually hilarious because it's a 50-50 chance you either get something good or bad. I decide to choose left this whole entire way through. I lose $10,000 off the rip, which is terrible, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go right. Just kidding, I'm going back left. Oh no, I lose another $1,000. Then I'm like, okay, there's no way that like I can get way less, right? Then I choose left, wrong again, and choose left again, wrong again. So really be careful with these game show things. They're just like a choice of randomness, and they can screw you over. So here I'm just showing you as we go on to the gym leader fight. I tried getting my heals up, and I literally could not because I lost all my money. And then as you can see on the left, I needed to level up my Sneasel a little bit, so I went and fought the Chansey. And then we go into the next gym leader, who is Watson, so obviously they're not in order. And then he's got a team that's supposed to be designed for my Pokemon. Excuse me. So at this point, I'm also just like wanting to show off what happens when you lose. So I'm also playing like trash. I don't normally play like this. Please check out my playthrough. I swear to God, we get pretty far. Very entertaining. But yeah, right now I'm just sacking all the mons. A lot of the times, eventually the gym leaders will start to have items and really, really strong movesets, and you will get destroyed. So sometimes buying that statue of like who you're gonna face is really important. So we are just going for our last couple of moves while we white out, and then obviously we return back to the start. It tells you how far you got, how many routes, you gain permanent money, and then since we got done with our first adventure, we talked to Scott, and obviously we'll get rare candies and even more money. And obviously you want to save your progress. Like, the goal is to beat the game, but even after that, there's a lot more stuff that you can do. So after we talk to Scott, we get some rare candies, we get some items, we get cut, we get money. We also get a bike shop, which is important for sometimes the acro bike is needed for some routes. And you can see as we beat this, new buildings open up, so we can buy permanent Pokeballs, we can buy permanent healing items, and then eventually you can buy permanent TMs. And these TMs will expand, and you'll get a lot more TMs after each run. So it's not always the same TMs. I decided to grab Psychic and Sludge Bomb. And then also here is just the clothes shop. This is where you can go back and change your avatar in case you don't want to be the same person. And then to the left here, this is the character that tells you like what the names mean. Kind of important. Yeah, so there's difficulty and then there's hint. I wonder what he says about the hint. He always says that, but it's like, okay guys, so this is the end of the narration. So if you did enjoy, please leave a like. It's going to transition to how to download the game, and also make sure to check out my first Emerald Rogue playthrough for Gen 3. Yeah, thanks for watching. Peace. Okay guys, so to start off by downloading Emerald Rogue, you're just going to type in Emerald Rogue into Google. Then the first link here is going to pop up, which is Pokemon Community. You're going to click that link and then scroll down. You'll find a download link here, and it will come with two files, one that is an expanded version of the game and then one that is a vanilla. Highly recommend doing the expanded version of the game. And then you have to understand that this is also just a patch. So when you download this, it won't be the game itself, it's just a patch. So you do have to download a Pokemon Emerald ROM from online. You can just Google it and find a website. Just make sure not download anything sketchy, like any viruses or anything like that. And then you can use this link here, which is a UPS patch to ROM downloader. Just download that. Very simple. It also shows you the steps to use it, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys have gotten this far, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the support. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because I am going to be dropping Emerald runs, or Emerald Rogue runs. My first one will be just doing Gen 3 and below, and then afterwards I will be doing Gen 8. So yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.